Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of the Joe Knows All podcast. If this is your first time here, the podcast generally runs for 20 to 25 minutes, so it's not your typical hour long or hour and a half to 2 hour long podcast. It'll run from 20 to 25 minutes. If I have a guest on, it'll run much longer than that. Maybe could be up to 40 minutes, but today it's just me, guys, so I hope you all enjoy it. You can tell by the title what we're going to be talking about today. And it is Cyberpunk 2077, Obsidian's new IP, The Outer Worlds, and Fallout 76 and its issues thus far. So, I hope you guys enjoy it. Hit that like button, comment if you haven't already, please subscribe for more. So, guys, let's start off with Cyberpunk 2077. Now, this is one of the most anticipated games out there. To be honest with you, I can't think of another game that's more anticipated than Cyberpunk 2077. I really can't. Everybody wants this game. Everybody wants to hear more information about this game. When CD Projekt Red announced that they really didn't have anything to show at the Game Awards last week, everybody was like, oh man, that sucks. And it did suck a little bit, honestly, because the Game Awards were lackluster. The biggest thing out of the Game Awards was The Outer Worlds, and I can't wait to talk about that in a little bit. But not seeing Cyberpunk 2077 was a bit of a bummer. It really was. It was a bit of a bummer. But that doesn't lead me to believe that we aren't going to be seeing anything about the game anytime soon. I feel we could be seeing more Cyberpunk content next month or the month after. And I'm thinking we could have a release date for the title next month or the month after, which is January and February. So, Cyberpunk has me hyped. If you guys are new to the channel, check out my playlist, my Cyberpunk playlist. I'll have that linked towards the end of the video, so stick around for that if you guys are interested in more Cyberpunk content. Cyberpunk really is going to be excited. CD Projekt Red, with what they did with The Witcher 3, excites the heck out of me. The amount of things, the amount of depth that The Witcher 3 had just makes me really, really pumped for Cyberpunk. Like I said, it not being at the Game Awards is not a big deal to me. It really isn't. I believe Cyberpunk, we could still be getting it in 2019, but towards the end, not in the traditional May release for a CD Projekt Red game. If they did release it in May, then the game would have to be announced in January, in February, with the release date, and they would have to do all the marketing now. Now, that really isn't too far-fetched because CD Projekt Red is hiring for the game, and it is to do cutscenes and other stuff in the game, so which leads you to believe maybe the game really isn't as polished and finished as we think it is. But then they're also hiring a PR manager for the United States. So it's like, okay, so is the game further along than what we think? And also keep this in mind. Next gen consoles. We're going to be getting next gen consoles perhaps in 2020. And Cyberpunk was on the Xbox One X enhanced game list. So right then and there, you would think that it being on the Xbox One that we could be seeing Cyberpunk, or that we would get Cyberpunk in 2019. Now, yes, they could put Cyberpunk on the Xbox One X and whatever the next gen consoles are, the new Xbox, the PS5. So it doesn't matter. So like it doesn't, just because it's on the Xbox One Games Enhanced list could mean, well, does mean that it's definitely going to be a current gen title as well as a next gen title. It's going to sell on both consoles. So Cyberpunk 2077 has a lot of hype around it. We know that the map is going to be huge. CD Projekt Red has confirmed that the map is going to be huge. We know that in each location in a said area, for example, in buildings, there's going to be a ton of content in buildings alone. That's huge. You could possibly spend 3 hours in a building just doing missions, doing quests. That's awesome. That's great that they're putting this much content into this game. And they've been working on this game for a very long time. Since 2012. That's when we got the first teaser trailer for Cyberpunk 2077. So a lot of people have really mixed thoughts about it. A lot of people do. They think we're not going to be getting anything until after 2021. And others like myself believe 2019 is the release date for Cyberpunk. And I did say in previous videos, my previous Cyberpunk videos, that I've been shying away from that thought. But now, come to think of it, I'm not really shying away anymore. I really do believe that we're going to be getting Cyberpunk in 2019. It could be May. It could be in the fall during the holiday season, Q4 2019. But regardless of when we could be getting Cyberpunk, I think we're getting it next year. I really do. Because think about this. We could get a release date in January or February, and the timing would still be okay for the game to come out by May or even June. But I'm thinking May because The Witcher 2, May 2011, and The Witcher 3, May 2015. Both had 4-year gaps. 2019 is the 4th year. CD Projekt Red likes to release games, obviously, in May. So then the third Tuesday in May, maybe that's a possibility for Cyberpunk. It could be. 6 years? 6 years? No, 7 years, a long time to be making a game. 7 years, a long time. And I know The Witcher 3 was in there too during that time, but still, 6-7 years, a very long time to make a game. And I think they are much further along than what we think. And that's great news. That's fantastic news. And I do want to see more about Cyberpunk. But in reality, the 48-minute gameplay trailer, honestly, was kind of enough. If you really think about it, was kind of enough. And the trailer that they released prior to that was enough. I just want a release date for the game and when we're going to get it. That's what I want to know. I want the cat to get out of the freaking bag. And I want to know when we're getting Cyberpunk 2077. That's what I want. I don't really care about anything else. This game is going to be deep. We've had confirmed reports that this game is going to be ridiculously deep. And not even that, it's going to be aesthetically appealing too. It's going to be a beautiful game with new animation systems. The characters aren't even going to repeat themselves like the NPCs. You really won't be seeing the same faces. It'll be a bunch of different people. And that's hard to do in an open world game. That's amazing. I can't wait just to know when we're going to be getting Cyberpunk 2077. That's all we're waiting for at this point. We're not waiting for anything else. We're not, because honestly, we have enough information about the game. We really do. Yes, most likely we're going to be hearing more and more information as the months goes on. But we really do have enough information. They released such a long trailer. Who does that? Not many developers do. I don't think really any developers do. Nobody does that. But CD Projekt Red did for Cyberpunk. 48 minutes. That's enough to hold us over, guys. That's enough. So, like I said, Cyberpunk 2077, no showing at the Game Awards, to me isn't a big deal. Cyberpunk, CD Projekt Red aiming Cyberpunk to be as big, as Red Dead, as polished, as Red Dead Redemption 2 is. Now, people would say that The Witcher 3 is a better game than Red Dead Redemption 2. So, and Red Dead Redemption 2 was highly acclaimed. Imagine what CD Projekt Red is going to do with Cyberpunk Just imagine what CD Projekt Red is going to do with Cyberpunk if you think with The Witcher 3 is a better game than Red Dead 2. Just imagine what Cyberpunk is going to do. Red Dead 2 did $750 million in its first 3 days of release. Cyberpunk could do $1 billion in its first day. One, it could be a better game. But two, it's so freaking hyped. Not that Red Dead 2 wasn't, Red Dead 2 was. But in my opinion right now, I feel Cyberpunk is much more anticipated than Red Dead 2 was at this time. That's just my opinion. But at the end of the day, as long as we get a good game out of Cyberpunk, it's fine for me. It's fine. But them no showing at the Game Awards really isn't too alarming to me. After having some time to think about it, I don't really care. It's not a big deal. They could still give out information about the game soon. Very soon. So like I said, them no showing at the Game Awards is not a big deal, and I really wouldn't think too much into that one bit. So guys, let's move on here. Enough Cyberpunk talk, even though I love talking about the game. Let's move on to The Outer Worlds. Obsidian's The Outer Worlds. And if you guys seen this trailer, if you guys haven't, please check it out. I highly recommend it. The Outer Worlds looks really, really good. And it is from co-creators Tim Kaine and Leonard Boyarsky. Co-Fallout creators. Obsidian, they developed Fallout New Vegas. So, just think about it like this. It's a Fallout game in space. That's what The Outer Worlds, what it looks like to me from the gameplay trailers and from the announcement trailer. It looks like Fallout in space. It really does. And this could be the Fallout that we have been wanting for a really long time. It could be essentially Fallout New Vegas 2. But in space. Definitely could be. That's fine with me. What I'm thinking about is this, though. Is this the game that Bethesda wanted Starfield to be? But Obsidian beat them to the punch. Could that be possible? Yeah. I think so. I think that's very possible. Because, honestly, it looks like a Fallout game, but in space. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing at all wrong with that. To me, though, it did seem a little cheesy here and there. I would like a more serious tone to the game. But maybe that's how the game's supposed to be. Maybe not so serious. But so I hope with future gameplay trailers and that we do receive more of a serious side for the Outer Worlds. But from what we have seen at the Game Awards with the announcement trailer and what we saw in the gameplay trailer, 15-minute gameplay trailer, has me really excited for the game. It's almost like this. I said it in a previous video that really didn't get much traction, so I don't know if you guys saw it, but I said it in a previous video that the Outer Worlds looks like Fallout, BioShock, and Borderlands, a lot of baby. That's what I really feel like. They had a baby together, and they birthed the Outer Worlds. That's what I think. The Outer Worlds is their kid, and that's fine. It's fine with me. Granted, I played a little bit of Borderlands and BioShock. Didn't really play much of those games, which I know I should. So I'm guilty. I'm sorry. But I played my fair share of Fallout. But the little that I have played of Borderlands and the little that I have played of BioShock, I feel I can make that comparison. Being in their worlds, even if it was for 5 hours, let's say, at a time. Some experience with those games, and I feel it's a fair comparison that Fallout, Borderlands, and BioShock had a kid. It's the Outer Worlds. And that's fine with me. That's fine. It's almost like a single player Borderlands, let's say. I'm sorry for being a goofball, I really am. But that's me. Joey Caps. It's who I am. All I know is this, guys. I want to know a firm release date, a hard release date for the Outer Worlds. We have a soft release date, and that's 2019. So I want to know what the release date is, 100%, like when we're going to be getting it. So 2019, okay, cool, we're getting it next year. But when next year? Before E3? Maybe in the summer? That'd be cool. Maybe the fall, Q4. Imagine this. Imagine we get Outer Worlds and Cyberpunk at the same time. I wonder if that's going to affect the time we will be getting Outer Worlds, because if you're Obsidian, and let's be honest, do you really want to go head to head with CD Projekt Red and Cyberpunk? Do you want to do that? I wouldn't want to, no. So maybe they're waiting on a release date for a Cyberpunk, and then that's when they will put out the Outer Worlds. Do you guys feel, leave a comment down below if you guys have listened this far into the podcast. Do you guys feel that the Outer Worlds stands a chance against Cyberpunk? Me personally, possibly, but I don't know. I'm not sure if they do. Now, if they had the name Fallout New Vegas 2 on it instead of the Outer Worlds, they certainly do. I think they could outsell Cyberpunk. They could overtake them. But it's not. It's the Outer Worlds. And it could be the Fallout New Vegas 2 that we've been wanting for a really, really long time. For a really long time. Now that we're talking about Fallout right now, let's transition to Fallout 76. So the podcast is almost up. Let's talk about 76 here. The game has had a lot of issues. After playing the game over an extended period of time, I enjoy the game. I'm having a lot of fun with it. In the beginning, I really couldn't think of anything negative to say about it. But then as I'm playing it, as I'm progressing throughout the world, I could pick on things here and there with the game. Was this Bethesda's best work? No. It wasn't. Is it what they envisioned in the first place? I wouldn't think so. The proof is in the pudding. You could see the sales in itself. The sales aren't good. Within a week and a half of the game's release, the sales were down. The price went down to $35. You could have just waited a week and a half and you would have had that game for $35 rather than $60. That's insane. That's crazy to me. So at the end of the day, is this the Fallout that Bethesda wanted to pull out? I guess. It's a fun game. You get to play with people online. That's always cool. No NPCs, but to me, that really wasn't a big issue, to be honest with you. I enjoy reading terminals. I enjoy listening to holotape. So to me, that really wasn't a big issue. Wasn't a make or break for me. But at the end of the day, is the game kind of broken? Maybe a little bit. Maybe a little bit, and it's a bit frustrating when they shut down servers in the middle of the day. Why don't you work on it overnight like they do with Fortnite? I don't know. But at the end of the day, is it an enjoyable experience? For me, it has been. Granted, I haven't played it in a week, but it is an enjoyable experience. Yeah, it is. It is. It'll see improvements as we go on, guys. You know, it'll be improved. There's no way Bethesda, there's no way that they don't improve this game. And my buddy King Fanman has made great points about that we could be getting NPCs over time. And that'd be cool too. I don't know how they would do that, but that'd be cool if we could be possibly getting NPCs in the game with later updates. Because as time goes on, the things evolve, more vaults open, and perhaps more people come out, which equals out to NPCs, voiced NPCs. But the thing is with that, which makes that a little funky, is for brand new players, they wouldn't have experienced the Fallout 76 that we experienced at launch. It wouldn't be the same game. So in reality, having voiced NPCs, human NPCs, is it really gonna happen? I don't know. That remains to be seen, because it wouldn't be the same experience. Maybe Bethesda doesn't want that same experience because of how bad the game has been performing. I just want to see a good game. I want to see them put out a good game. And to me, it's an okay game. It could be better, though. It could be better. It hasn't had me hooked like Fallout 4 did. Fallout 4, I couldn't put it down. So I have to say, this Fallout game did not hook me. But hopefully, as time goes on, it will. It will. So, guys, that about wraps up another episode of the Joe Knows All podcast. Thank you all for watching. I hope you guys like the radio feel that I'm trying to bring here. I want this to feel more of like unedited, relaxed, more personal with you guys than my other edited videos. So, guys, I thank you all for watching. I apologize if I was swallowing a lot throughout this video. My mouth is very dry, so I don't know why, but all right, guys, thank you all for watching. Please hit that like button, comment if you haven't already. Please subscribe for more. I really appreciate you sticking around, listening to this whole podcast. That means the world if you did. Leave a comment down below saying that you did, so I know who stuck around. I want to know who sticks around and listens to the whole thing. A few of you do, so that means the world. Guys, thank you so much. Please hit that like button, comment, and if you haven't already, please subscribe. That means the world to me. So, more Cyberpunk content coming, more Outer Worlds content coming, as well as some Let's Plays. And obviously Fallout content. So, guys, once again, I thank you all for watching. Godspeed.